Wow, it's New Year's Eve. It is the 31st of December, 2021. We actually moved to Vegas. Oh, God, Skyla. We actually moved to Vegas, what, Skyla, a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, we started coming in January. I don't. Did we come in December? You guys went after.
Can they hear the music while we're doing this? Oh, I love it. I love it.
You guys were here for New Year's last year.
We were here for New Year's last year. We went to Anthony's.
Enzo and Asia.
Yep.
We got them to play Monopoly.
Yep, I remember. and I like this song because it's like a tsunami. I mean, that really, like, we moved here. It was a big wave of people from California.
Yeah.
And let's stay with the song for sure. It was a wave of people coming from California. I love it. I'm sorry. I'm obsessed.
It's okay.
I'm obsessed.
It's a party day. Party day.
Obsessed. We're gonna get right to the market real quickly here. Pretty ugly close. BitNile gets all the downside of Bitcoin, none of the upside. I see that Bitfarms has a $1 billion market cap, and we don't. We have like 100 million with everything we own. Yet, you know, eventually that'll change. But today, what do you have here? You have I think Riot hitting new fresh lows from this month, I believe. Pretty ugly, the Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is 45,842. It's a good thing we underwrote our situation to much lower prices, which I'm not worried about. But we can move on from the music. We're going to cover a lot of topics today, including this, and let me show you something exciting. This is the ringing of the, well, I guess it's not the ringing of the bell, but it is New Year's in Dubai, one of my favorite places in the world. I just got to visit it this year when we signed the contract for the S19 XPs, the 140 terahash machines being delivered to BitNile in our Michigan location. Let me go live to my screen. Can you do that? 8765432. Watch this. This is the Burj Khalifa, which is code for big building. Just kidding. But don't you think they do things right there? Look at this. Now, I can't express to you that the entire building lights up and has all kinds of incredible features on it. The people in Dubai, I think they call them Emirates, members of the Emirate or citizens of the Emirate. They know how to do it right there. And we're going to do this tonight in Las Vegas. I believe 8 hotels are having fireworks tonight.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a huge fireworks show tonight.
We're going to do that tonight. So thank you for letting everyone see the Dubai experience. Dubai.
Because it's already 2022 there, right?
Yeah.
People in Dubai know how to do it right. What's up, Brett?
Jason's on. I'm just going to pin him.
Oh, Jason, come on, man, please.
Yeah,
now, Jason is experiencing what we're experiencing today, which is I woke up today to learn that our office in Newport Beach may have COVID. I think most of the office here has COVID. I don't have COVID. I was tested negative. I'm writing a book, and the writer helping me, he tested positive for COVID. He was with me for 2.5 days.
Yeah, you should probably get tested again
I'm okay.
in a couple days.
Skyla is COVID queen. I think you had COVID pretty bad last year. Went to the hospital a few times, right?
But I have antibodies, so I won't get
whatever.
it again.
You can say whatever you want about being unvaccinated.
Well,
but,
I've been around people with COVID and I didn't get it, so.
Well, that's good.
Well.
Yeah. But I know that there was a COVID case where the guy got into a car accident, died in a car accident.
Yeah.
But they reported him dead from COVID because they tested him positive for COVID. So now COVID is the universal answer for all deaths, right, Jason?
Yeah, motorcycle accidents. Yeah, it's just a mess.
Jason, I'm not going to lie. Nile, which we'll comment on in a little while, closes kind of at the year lows. I mean, $1.15 low, year low, $7.99 high. At $7.99, it was a reasonably priced, according to some people, and at $1.21, it's overpriced.
Hey, check this out though. So I'm looking around. I lost you. Did I lose you?
No.
Okay, sorry, buddy. Okay, so you and I were talking about this a little bit. So I was looking at Bitfarms, BITF.
Yeah.
They're actually a Canadian-based pure crypto play. Okay. They are a lot of the small caps and all the crypto names have sold off significantly, not just Nile. If you look at ticker symbol any, we were talking about any throughout the year making swing trades from low to mid sixes to upwards of $8. Any now is in the low threes. Bitfarms was $9.30 on 11/11, make a wish, and it currently closed today at $5.05. This is important. Shareholders, whomever's interested in crypto, let me just cover this for 5 minutes. Bitfarms.
Wait, well, hold on. You want 5 whole minutes?
I want 5 minutes.
Okay.
BITF, Bitfarms. They actually have a current market cap of $946.67 million. They actually did a $100 million credit, secured $100 million in credit today. Hey, I know another company that secured $52.2 million. We'll get into that. So, Todd, when we're looking at the nuts and bolts of Bitfarms, they are currently the 4th largest publicly traded crypto play according to the block chart. I know you saw the block chart. Mara and Riot and Core Scientific are ahead of Bitfarms. Bitfarms, through my calculations, has currently mined 3,000 Bitcoins this year. That's through November per public filing, press release. I backed my way into some numbers. Bear with me here. They're mining currently over 300 Bitcoin per month, and that would be currently around 30 or so Bitcoin per day. Obviously, Nile's going to release their information for their updated yield January the 3rd. But based on those numbers, Todd, Bitfarms, if you assume they have S19J Pros at 100 terahash, those would be pretty much the latest and greatest, except for the XP miner that's 140 terahash. Bitfarms, based on those numbers, based on my napkin math, would have approximately deployed 20,000 miners in order to yield those 3,000 Bitcoin. So my case here, or just my point, I just have been looking at some of our colleagues and some of the other tickers, and I'm noticing what current market caps are of those companies based on what they are mining. And then I'm just looking at other companies, such as Nile, and just looking at the market cap. And if you're just an investor and you start looking at these other tickers and you're looking for hidden value, if you will, or undervalued assets, you could look and find them. They're still out there. Obviously, I'm not recommending any stocks. I'm not telling you to buy or sell any equities, but I was just looking at that today, and I just wanted to point that comparison out. That's all.
Okay, appreciate it. Brett, can you turn on my little things here?
You have them now.
Are they on?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's going to be a longer show because we've got a lot to cover. As I said earlier, if you go to my screen real quick, Bitcoin, 45,838. Unlike before when we mined Bitcoin the first time, we have not put in rosy projections for ourselves. What we've done, if you could do me a favor, Brett, because I want to stay focused on shows, what we've done is underwrite to, now that we have our own facility and control of a lot of our own destiny, we've underwrote to lower prices. Could you pull up that PowerPoint for me, please? And if it's possible, I don't know if you can do it, but I'd love to see it on a split screen with Jason and I. But you might not be able to do it, and I don't know if Jason can see it.
See it?
But so scroll down from the third quarter update to just one. Keep going. Keep going. Yep. One more. One more. One more. Keep going. One more. There. Is it possible to zoom in on the schedule there? Right there. Okay. So you see what we've done in terms of Bitcoin prices and where our margins would be and kind of what our revenue would be. So if you think Bitcoin's at 45,000 and you got to figure out difficulty, we'd net about 100. We do about 207 million fully installed, about 87% margins. Now, these are obviously very subject to difficulty, power costs, things like that. But we figured a lot of this out in there. Can you go back to that screen, please? I know you guys are in a hurry to do this. This is like Willie coaching you to not let things stay up, but we don't want to stay it up. Can you zoom in on a little bit? Is it possible to spread it out there? No, but I mean like, oh, but with me on the, oh, you can't see it with me on the screen. Okay, so if you look at the prices here, we did it smart, and we said to ourselves, let's look at what we think is the downside. Now, granted, Joe, if he were, he'll tell you, he would say, well, we can make money even at lower than 20,000 Bitcoin prices, but you see the margins get affected. I'm not worried about this. I think that there continues to be either people don't read the research reports or they just are very confused on this. We're going to cover Bitcoin later today when Crypto Joy joins the show. He's actually spinning up miners as we speak. But one thing to remember, can you go back to the, go 2 screens up here, slide up on that for me, please. Right there. No, you were there. You're great. So here's the transformational steps that we've taken. This is basically the current structure of the company. Notice over there on the right, you see agree. You can go smaller. And so, because I want Jason on the screen with me. Can you do that? If you see Alt Alliance, you'll see right there, agree, Alt Global Real Estate Equities. That, of course, is where we own the hotels, where we bought the property in St. Petersburg, which you saw this morning. And that is a separate vehicle. Now, you're probably saying, well, wait a second then. What's inside Digital Power Lending? Because I think this is where people get confused. They see that the parent company borrowed money for its own deployment into, say, Alliance Cloud Services, or maybe its deployment into crypto and DeFi. We just part of the $15 million financing for Earnity. I think people truly are not understanding that just because we raised money didn't mean we don't have money. And I don't remember what we ended the quarter with, but I think it was something in the neighborhood of 90 million in cash and securities, plus level 2 and level 3 assets. Can we scroll back up one page? I'm going to try to show people. Continue one more. Right. So if you look at Digital Power Lending here, you'll see we own Alzaman. That's a very big position. I think that with all of our warrants and rights, it's like 22 million shares. You'll see AdTech Pharma. We own about 40% of that fully exercised. When that goes public, we'll own a percentage of that. MTIX, we own a huge percentage of MTIX. And then, apologize because I'm blind as a bat here. AdTech Pharma. What's the middle one there? AdTech Pharma, the last. Oh, and then, of course, we're investors in Alt Alpha. So Alliance Cloud Services, you see, has switched over to the other side. This was the corporate structure then. That's all switched now. But I think people, can we go off screen now, just have Jason and I? Because, Jason, I want to try to explain this. Can you, MTX is not even trading. So what, David? So what, Dave? Does that mean it's not a company? Does that mean, you don't have to trade to be a business, my friend. And by the way, if you think that we're still putting money in MTIX, we're still believers there. I can't comment on it until it's fully reporting. But appreciate the comment, Dave. But what I wanted to cover with you, Jason, is that you were in banking. You worked at RBC and other banks. I'm having a tough time explaining to people that the lender has its own balance sheet. And if you took all the capital away from the lender, it wouldn't have any earnings power. So how do I explain to people, even bankers who call me, said, well, you have plenty of cash. I said, yes, but it's in the lender. Hello, we don't want to take the money out of the lender and just spend it all and then not have any lending capabilities or investment capabilities. These are separate businesses. Gresham Worldwide has its own balance sheet and its own money. Turn On Green has its own balance sheet, its own CFO, and its own money, right? I saw that Berkshire Hathaway, I'm not comparing myself to Berkshire Hathaway, but I saw that Berkshire Hathaway has a subsidiary with a strike going on and Bernie Sanders is trying to get Warren Buffett to intervene. And Warren Buffett says, sorry, I don't handle the labor decisions of the subsidiaries. I don't handle them either. So I realize there's confusion here. We borrowed 52 million. Oh my God! Oh my God! How is he going to pay it back? There's a big offering coming. Well, you mean like a bond offering, or you mean preferred, where it's not convertible? If you notice, a vast majority of the transaction today was not equity, it was debt, because we don't want to issue stock down here. And obviously, they're convertible at $2.50, or where the price is 110% of that with a floor on March 31st. We don't want to issue stock down here. We're trying to avoid that. We also don't want to drain our subsidiaries of capital to then go spend it for another subsidiary. BitNile Inc., the miner, is a separate subsidiary of Digital Power Lending. It is a separate subsidiary of Gresham Worldwide. It is a separate subsidiary of the $69 million worth of hotels we just bought. It's a separate subsidiary of the $15 million worth of real estate in development down in St. Petersburg, Florida. It is a separate subsidiary of our holdings. We don't go to Alzheimer and say, send us money. I'm frustrated because I'm trying as hard as I can to explain to people that our balance sheet is expanding. Now, let me cover another issue here, okay? Because we're doing a year-end review today. But I'm talking about today. Hey, Willie. One of my favorite people who I thought was mad at me or something, because I haven't spoke to him in days.
No.
Oh, I'm glad you're here.
Actually, as you expand, we need to expand our workforce and our internal workforce. I have spent days interviewing some of the most fascinating candidates. So keep going with what you're doing.
Brett told me you were working hard. But I want to cover something with everybody, and that is we are funding subsidiaries that we think have more value. Now, today was an open window for me, and I can honestly say it was a very small window because we disclosed everything that we had to. I was able to buy today. You'll see my Form 4s. I can't go into it. Wait for the filings. But if I said I bought today and didn't, I'd be in trouble, and I did buy today. I bought for the hedge fund. I bought for my personal account. I continue to explain to people the market is giving me an opportunity. This is what they talk about with Mr. Market, and that is you're not obligated to swing at General Motors at 45. You're not called out for a strike. You don't have to swing. You don't have to swing at Google at 2,100. You can swing however you want. You can buy and sell whatever you want. There's no called strikes. You can sit on your butt for 5 years and not buy a single stock. I once again reiterate to everyone who's followed me, I have a 10-year plan. I'm 3 years into it. I have 7 years left. I'm not a seller of Nile. I'm not a seller of shares. I haven't sold any, right? Listen, I really didn't even want to break the company up into two pieces, but it's so confusing for people, and Bitcoin is so much more valuable in the sense of growth, and I wanted them to have their own balance sheet and their own shareholders, and there were so many people following it that I thought, okay, I'll give them what they want. I gave in. Fine, we'll break the company up. But I understand that it's confusing for people that when you're laying the foundation for multiple companies to be more valuable, you know, Jason, and you run a danger here. We're not recommending you buy Nile. In fact, I would argue don't buy it, please, because there's only so many seats at the table, and if you buy it and want to trade it and then keep asking me questions about things that don't matter, it's a distraction. Don't buy Nile. In fact, I'm flat out telling you, don't buy the stock, because it's going to be distracting to you, because we're not focused on today. We're focused on years from now. I don't know that people understand that. I care deeply about the price. I don't want anyone to lose money, but I care more about the fact that we're going to build a company that has cash flow, and Bitcoin's one of them. Lending is one of them. Real estate is one of them, etc. Oh my God! Look who's here. Hey, can you put this on now? The second song. Let's go. Look who's in the house here.
Jojo.
Can you play it?
What's going on, guys?
The second song.
We got double
finally.
Willie up there.
Oh, glasses.
Finally.
There we go.
You're not gonna put these ones on?
Nah, well, these look better.
Oh, is that why you gave these to me?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It looks like an
There you
Elton
go.
John concert.
Oh yeah, I look like Elton John, don't I?
It's like an Elton John concert there,
He's
man.
fat like me.
Hey, I like Elton.
Elton John's fat
I
like
love
me.
Elton John.
Yeah. Joe, you're in the house now. You, me, and Tiesto.
Oh, that's right.
I was there at Tiesto last night. I didn't go to the concert,
Oh, you suck.
but Brittany did.
Of course.
Joe, those glasses on you look like you need a bulldog in a sidecar and a motorcycle.
Wait till you come
Wait,
out here.
wait. This isn't the song. No, that's not Joe's song. It's the second song.
Oh God.
No, not this song. Turn this off.
I'm good with this.
You got to remember, we're on live TV, and you can make mistakes on live TV. Hey, come on!
Oh, this is a good one too.
Thank God.
Let's get down to business.
See, now that Joe's here, we can get down to business.
One more night.
Joe, you were spinning up more miners today.
I was spinning up more money.
How many?
A couple. The report comes out on the 3rd. People have to watch for that news.
Oh, Joe foreshadowing of the report. Boom, Joe.
Nice tease.
What'd you say, Jason?
Nice tease, Joe. Nice tease.
Nice tease, buddy. Joe, what do you think about Bitcoin being at 46,000? Hey, okay, we can cut that now.
Is it my prediction time or is it what do I
No,
say?
no, I'm not worried about predictions.
Oh, okay.
I'm simply saying that, the last time when we had super crypto mining, we kind of had really optimist thoughts. It actually happened, but not in the order we wanted, and we got busted out, right?
The price,
But busting out now, we've underwritten because we have our own data center in a different way. I don't want you to get specific, but comment about the fact, what if Bitcoin went to 25,000?
we wouldn't like it, but we could still mine.
Right.
Unlike when it went from
30,000 to 2?
Well, 19,000 to 3, but yeah, I mean, same.
That
same
crushed
principle.
us pretty hard, right?
It would crush anyone, and I mean, look, that it would change because of the way we have it. A lot of these rent miners, and I mean that the guys who are out.
You know why? This is why I don't like hosting, right?
Yeah. Well,
we don't host. We own our own miners. They're in our own facility. We control our own destiny largely.
Yeah. I mean, they get a theoretical. They're saying, I'm getting 2 cents power, and that's a bunch of bullshit. So, I mean,
this is a family show.
Oh, it's a family show. Okay, so boys and girls, they are stretching the truth. They are absolutely getting that power at 2 cents in those rent centers.
Well, you and I have been in conversations with other major miners. I was there. I know you were there, Jason, in which they said to us, well, we'll pay you 3 cents, and then you can charge us 3 cents for helping us, right? What do you call that, Jason?
It's called helping hands or white glove service.
But you're not Jason. Jason, what do you call that?
No, what Joe said is accurate. It's full service, white glove. It's basically you have a team that is paying another team to do everything that your team was supposed to do, but you're paying for it in a full service, scale. So that's what you're seeing a lot. Yeah, we've seen a lot of this stuff. The all-in cost is not what the reported utility cost is. That's what Joe's trying to say.
Right. So I open up to the audience because I'm going to answer some questions. Joe's here right now. I want to answer some questions about why this seems so confusing for people. Why today's financing confused people? Because we didn't issue any equity. We issued people the right to pay for equity. So if they want to exercise their warrants at $250, they have to write us a check for a lot of money. Yeah, there's some black shoals in there, very small amount. But I don't quite understand the response today, except other than them saying, well, the cost of the financing was high. Okay, let me address that. I'm going to address it very carefully because, of course, I had lawyers telling me to shut my mouth today. How do I address this? If you go back to that chart and you looked at how much Bitcoin mining we expect and hope to do and plan to do and anticipate, and we might, if the world stays alive and there's not a new COVID 2022 and Willie doesn't kill me, all that stuff. If all that lasts, the actual cost of that bridge loan into a more structured type of finance, like if you're a smart company like Bitfarms, you get credit that's more complicated but larger, and you do it in a way that's not dilutive to equity. I direct you to IBM, who borrows money to buy back stock. Right. So I get people saying, you can't be borrowing money and buying back stock. You guys have got this wrong, okay? So let me give you analysis of a different way to look at this. If you have a buyback program in place and you have cash flow, but you need to finance future operations, you can borrow money. And you can use the proceeds for different things. Money, I don't know, this strange thing is it's fungible. So you could have money in one pocket rolling right, and you could buy a burrito, and in the other pocket you could buy a taco, or you could buy an In-N-Out burger. You don't have to spend the money on the same food, right?
Yep.
And if I were to issue equity to people, like let's say Jason or Joe got common stock options because they're employees. If you're Cisco or you're someone like that, we're not Cisco, of course. We're not that profitable. We don't make the kind of money they do yet. If you look at them, when they issue stock options to employees, they actually have a buyback program too because they want to offset the total shares. So as we start to mature as a company and you look at the total shares outstanding, it's smart to have a buyback program in place when you can legally do it. That's a caveat. I have to say to you, the laws are harsh about how you can do this. It's smart to have a financing program in place. And when we looked at our asset base, we said, okay, we know what the future holds. So we'll take some short-term pain by getting a less dilutive financing down here at this level with an anticipation that we could finance more strategically over a long period of time. Hence the word bridge loan. Bridge to an event. Now someone say, well, that's really expensive financing. Yes, because people don't want to lend you money for 90 days. They want to lend you money for years. They want to lock in a rate. So those banks or institutions or sophisticated investors say, well, if you're going to pay me off quickly, you're not going to let me earn more money. I want more upfront, right? So then you have to trade off. Do you disrupt other operations by taking cash from them and then financing another subsidiary? Hey, Willie, you're the CEO of Alt Media Group. Would you like me to take your budget away from you so I can buy other things?
Absolutely not. And Todd, I would even boil. I mean, I'm not as smart as you and Jason and Joe, but I kind of boil it down this way. If I had the money in the bank to purchase a new home, would I take all of that money out of the bank and purchase the home, or would I finance the home so I get certain breaks and write-offs?
Sure.
Otherwise, I'm going to be house poor for the until
let's go to
I get all of that money back.
let's go to Daniel's.
Is that just too?
Hold on.
Is that too simple?
Let's go to Daniel's question. Daniel says it's a statement. IBM borrows money at 3%. You just paid $7 million for $52 million. True. Which would be, if we mined in the future Bitcoin, maybe a quarter of a month or a half a month or maybe a full month, depending on how things are going. You're right. It's expensive. But I don't see you texting me saying, well, you just borrowed $69 million to buy those hotels and you paid 7%. It's convenient, right? It's convenient just to pick the facts you want to identify, and that's fine. Let's just look at that $52 million. Now, let's not look at what we're borrowing money for the hotels and real estate at. I got an offer to finance our real estate for one of our development projects at 3% from a major national bank. This is a holding company that has multiple operations, and I understand eventually the plan is to split into two companies, one focused on DeFi, Bitcoin, and data center, and the other focused on all the legacy stuff that I do, like cash flow businesses, things that are more stable than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's back to 46,260.
Hey, Todd.
Yes.
Todd.
Yes.
Can we, and Joe also, I'm sorry. And hey, Willie, I forgot to even say hello to you. Hey, listen, I got a question about not Daniel, I'm sorry about that. Boats. Boats is asking about our data center and our infrastructure. And he actually asked Crypto Joe how the pods are looking and if Crypto Joe could comment on anything to do with the actual pods and the infrastructure of the facility. I know we're going to release the data Monday that's going to incorporate petahash, total mining and all the data there. But Joe, can you carefully comment on anything about what the question is regarding our pods and our structure and stuff?
I would just say that it's all coming along really well. In some aspects, we're ahead of where we expected to be. And ultimately, I think at this point, we have a lot of room for growth. And that's
Great.
about as careful as I can be before Monday's update.
And Todd, I'll just throw one other example out. I don't know that this helps or not, but I can tell you that even the major film studios do not use their own capital in-house to finance movies.
Hey, I want to say,
outside
Willie,
of that.
Willie, I want to interrupt for a second. I appreciate that Daniel is respectful and I'm respectful to him. We can have spirited debate, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a fan of his questions or anything like that. This is professional. Hey, fair enough, he says. I'm okay with challenging questions, and I know I was a little smart off when I answered, but I really do mean it. I like challenging questions, and I appreciate it, Daniel. And let's continue the dialogue. Willie, you were saying about studios outsourcing their financing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just for those that I think they look at that because they're trying to figure out where their assets are and where the company's assets are.
Sure.
And I think they're reading too much into the mechanism. It helps me at least. And as I said, I'm not as smart as you and Joe and Jason, but if I really dumb it down for myself, I can come up with lots and lots of other examples, real world examples, where people don't drain their own financial stability to go out and achieve something else.
Sure.
And that's essentially, I think if you boil it down to its simplest form, that's what we're doing, correct?
Yep, that's what we're doing. Hey, Brett, is Chase ready to go?
He is not on.
Oh, Chase, we need you on. Okay, let's get him on here.
That's a beautiful
Please get
view,
on.
Jay.
What's what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I
JJ.
said that's a beautiful view.
We got JJ. We
Is
got
that from that view?
JoJo.
Must be from Cosmo though. That's a Cosmo view, because I've been on those wraparound suites. That's got to be a Cosmo view, right?
Yeah, that is. My view is the lighting's not good. I mean, I could show you, but it's hard to see right now.
Very true. WM McLean, it's right. I don't like the cost of that financing, but I did in my mind justify saying, okay, that short-term money helps us with some other structured finance we're doing in terms of preferreds and stuff like that. And so what I thought to myself was, okay, yeah, it's going to be expensive, but it's really, by September, it's really like a quarter of a month or half a month of Bitcoin. And you never know. There's no assurance we'll ever mine another Bitcoin again. Power could go out forever. We might not ever, Bitcoin might close down today, right? There may be no more Bitcoin after today. Hey, Chase, Chase, is Chase on?
Yep, I'm here.
Everyone, this is the face of COVID now. My son has COVID for the second
Jesus.
time in 2 years, but he is healthy. He's a healthy, spry, 22-year-old beast who used to play quarterback, outside linebacker, safety, strong safety, wide receiver. I watched this young kid have scored 23 touchdowns in a single year, only allowed to play half the game. He was only allowed to play half the game. In one season, I watched him run back 6 punt returns for touchdowns.
I got to tell you, he's a proud dad, and you've got.
Oh, you're no doubt that I'm a proud dad. Is he not on? Can we put him on?
You got to be embarrassed everywhere you
There's
go,
good
Chase.
reason. There's good reason. This isn't just pride.
Yeah.
There's actual results behind the pride.
Hey, Chase.
Hey, yeah, by the way, he got the $100 from me, okay? I want to be clear, everyone. He got the $100. The other day when he said he had a COVID test, I sent him $500 because I felt guilty because he's got a girlfriend now, and I bet he paid for her COVID test too. Hey, Chase, Chase, you had the luxury of going to St. Petersburg, seeing the facility. I just thought maybe you could tell everyone about, you've seen the design, the plans. It's shovel ready. You guys are going to be digging holes and putting up stuff. What's St. Petersburg like?
Well, for any of you, can you guys hear me? Now I'm all good to go.
We hear you.
Okay. For any of you that have been down there, to me, it's kind of like Newport Beach, very walkable. A lot of people around. There's a whole Lido area right on the water. Our property is far enough to attract the person that's looking for a bit of a quiet neighborhood, but maybe a 5-minute walk to some great restaurants, very lively area, live music, boats, the water, the bay, everything that you could ask for. But the area is incredible, and the site is going to be demolished first. There's a couple buildings there, but we're excited to work with the people in the community and really kind of make it. Right now, the plans are they look great, and it's going to fit in really well with the area. Downtown St. Petersburg is a bit of a historic look to it, and so we're excited to, become a staple in the community.
Hey, Rip and Dip's on. Rip and Dip, we love you too. Happy New Year's, dude. We love you, man. We're a big fan. You'll be at the Risk On Conference May 12th through the 15th. We'll be talking about St. Petersburg there because we're going to syndicate that property, right, Chase?
Yes, sir, we are. Everybody can be a part of
Syndication.
it.
So if you guys want to own that property with me and you want to get monthly income, because that is going to be a rental. We're renting those apartments out. We're not selling them. You're going to have a chance to own that property with us and syndicate, meaning you will actually write a check and you'll be an owner of the property with us, and you'll get a monthly check when that thing makes monthly income. Chase, do you anticipate people not needing apartment buildings anymore?
I mean, God only made so much land.
That's right. Hey Chase, where's my granddaughter?
Let me.
Oh, we lost him. Oh, he robbed
Hey, you know,
him.
Todd, I will just, if I'll just jump in, you know, with you know, are people going to need apartments?
Okay.
I can tell you that historically, at least in the research that I've done, historically, if the economy goes down, the need for apartments goes up.
Hey, can you, Willie? We agree. Can you put Syra on? Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
she's
lose
on
to
right
the
now.
dog again. I'm always gonna lose to the dog.
you're gonna lose to the dog. You know what's funny about
on.
Syra? She's 2 years old now. When Chase first got Syra, I was anti him getting a dog. Now I insist. Someone at this office suggested that Syra should not come in, and I was not happy. I feed Syra every morning. I give her.
We didn't suggest. I will tell you that after the first incident, when some other employee brought a dog in here and it had an accident all over, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Chase, listen, say hi to Zan for us. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're healthy and getting better. Enjoy seclusion or quarantine. You know, by the way, now you can just quarantine for 5 days. Rules have changed.
I know. We're almost done.
Right, Jason?
And then
In
I'm
5
heading
days now,
to,
right?
I'm heading
Yeah.
to go see the hotels as well. So, you know, it'll be fun.
I'll see you in New York. I'll be in New York actually on the 7th to see Tribeca.
Mm-hmm.
That big mammoth hotel we're building back there that's almost done will be opening. Oh, wait a second. That'll be opening this year.
In July,
Yes.
Yeah, tomorrow it'll be less than I think 7-8 months until Tribeca opens. That 200 million behemoth, one of the most expensive hotels by
yeah. Over $2 million a room.
Yeah, a little expensive
Wow.
there. But that is partially owned by Agree now. We moved those assets to our real estate fund, our real estate holding company. Chris Wu, of course, is enjoying the skiing of Whistler today, so we don't have him on the show. Hey, Chase, say hi to Zan.
Wait. Chris Wu is up here near me,
He is.
and he didn't even bother to say hello on his way in.
Chase, say hi to Zan. Happy New Year, buddy. Thank you for talking about St. Petersburg.
Happy New Year's, guys. Take care.
Happy
See you
New Year,
later.
Chase.
Happy New Year, Chase.
Get healthy. Where are we at? Where
Hey,
are we at
Todd.
now? Yeah.
So a couple questions or a couple comments. It looks like people are, I guess, a little confused and a little bit frustrated because we're acquiring hard assets. We're acquiring real estate, and BitNile Inc. BitNile is supposed to be a pure play. Could you just comment on the timing of the
Yeah,
acquisitions?
that's not what we said.
That's-
If you looked at the PowerPoints developed over the last 6 months and they were publicly filed, we said that we would own about $250 million in real estate, I believe, eventually, and various other assets. Those will separate. Alt Alliance, which is owned by BitNile Holdings, will eventually separate from BitNile Holdings. That's the plan. And
Yep.
you as a shareholder will own stock in both companies. And so what you know as Alt Alliance, which is kind of legacy defense business, some exciting stuff like EV. We're finally selling EV on Amazon and to regular companies around the country. You'll own both stocks eventually if the deal gets approved to separate. Got to get IRS approval, and I don't know what the shareholders have to do, but there's some approvals and legal stuff we got to do in 2022. But we're largely, I'm not going to say done, but we're mostly done with our acquisition strategy. I know
there's a couple people. Go ahead.
I know there's some few things that are ancillary that we're working on, but for the most part, the core real estate acquisition strategy for 2022 is done. We've acquired the miners, the 20,600 miners. Those are being delivered pretty methodically. So I think our CapEx in terms of acquisition capital is largely, I'm going to say, if you look at the balance sheet now, and I don't know where it stands, but as of last quarter, I think it was $225 million. With the acquisition of the hotels, that puts you at closer to 300 some million, give or take. With today's acquisition and capital, I put you somewhere else in terms of assets. But assuming that asset base is 300 million, 350, 275, I don't know the numbers exactly. We're probably pretty much done for 2022. We're focused on digestion. I mean, when you eat a big meal and you eat a lot of it, like if you're at a great meal and you go, wow, I probably won't be there again for a while, and you eat a lot of food like I do, you kind of have to digest that, right?
Yep.
So in the business world, you can die from indigestion. And so we're aware of that, and we have separate CEOs and separate people running these divisions, but I would suggest that we're probably going to be more digestive in 2022. I'm not saying that there may not be one little thing here or there that may ultimately come to fruition, but anything we acquire from here on out probably would be more already in business for a long time, maybe have all are operationally profitable,
Right.
and not be for stock. We wouldn't be acquiring anything
Todd?
for equity. We don't
Right.
like the equity price down here. You were saying?
I need to jump in real quick because it's kind of a good segue. With all of that expansion means that there's people that we need to put in place to help make sure it happens. And I've got an interview to go to right now.
Yeah, Willie,
do that.
Willie, you can keep promising to expand the media department while I'm doing my own tweets. Go ahead. Yeah, please. I am
going to wish you a happy new year. And I'm looking forward to everything that's happening. And I have some surprises for you coming up.
Hey, listen, I can hear a room in our future. I will see you soon for things that go fast.
Yeah, and I have people that help make that happen. I have probably had over 100 interviews over the last 4 days. And we're wrapping them up today.
I've been told you're busy. Hey, we're gonna go. Really, you take care. We're gonna go to a
Happy
video.
New Year, guys.
We're gonna go to a video, and I want to play it out here.
New Year.
We're gonna put. I'm gonna skip this real quick. If you go to my screen, this was one of our large. This is one of our largest outside holdings. We are a very big shareholder.
The forecast calls for new highs, but it may not be smooth sailing.
That didn't work. Hold on a second. Hold on. That was not my intention. Whoops.
The interwebs can be very confusing.
What was that? Huh. Sorry about that, guys. This is a live broadcast.
This is? No way.
Yes,
What?
it's live. I wanted to play this. This was. Can you put the sound on, please? This was a great day. I think this was after our IPO on June 15th. We went to New York and we rang the bell. And this remains one of our largest holdings. We've not sold a share of this. In fact, we bought more. We bought more today, actually.
Me.
We're going to watch this video. This is a year in review.
We bought the Empire State Building?
I was told that couldn't be done. I was told that I couldn't get anything to treat Alzheimer's. I was told that I'd never get an application into the FDA. I've been told lots of things I could never do. I'm living proof that it's possible to bring something public, to start it from scratch. My friends helped me get it done. And all those people have been rewarded with hopefully creation of value to help people. And I decided to come back to Wall Street. I didn't want to come back without doing something that I thought would help humanity. Dave says he's seen this video. It's called a year in review, Dave. My mom was there, which was wonderful. A lot of friends, a lot of sponsors, a lot of people that believed in us. It was truly a magical weekend.
The NASDAQ opening bell will begin shortly.
Very clear. It's very near and dear to my heart. My grandparents died from Alzheimer's. My wife and I cared for my mother-in-law until she succumbed to it. My dad has it, unfortunately, could not be here with us today because Alzheimer's has robbed him of everything but his ability to breathe. It's very disheartening that many people we're not going to be able to save my dad. However, I'm happy with the progress that Alzheimer's is making. The benefits to the two therapies will hopefully bring members of the family, as well as 38 million Americans, 300 million people globally. I want to thank the NASDAQ for doing this. This is something we set out to do from the very beginning, is to be here on this exchange. Today, with this opportunity to have the IPO to allow us to ring the opening bell, I'd like to thank my mom, who believed in me as a teenage mom to dream big. My wife and my kids to support me. Alzheimer's first investor, Stephen Caspi, Alzheimer's Board of Directors.
You notice I'm
led by
saying
the chairman,
Alzheimer's
Will
instead of
Horn.
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's
I was
managing team
totally
led by Stefan
nervous
Jackman,
because
our
there was like
investor.
20 cameras.
Our
It was like
investors,
freaking
Dr.
me
Chow,
out.
Dr. Scheidel, the University of South
whatever,
Florida,
right?
the Scientific Advisory Board, Dr.
I think you did a
McDade,
great job,
Dr.
though. Every time I hear that
Wozniacki,
speech,
the
I
CR
get
team led by
goosebumps.
Art Spalding.
Yeah, I like it a
our
lot.
outside counsel, very important, from Ocean from Walensky, I never say that right, led by Spencer Feldman. And last but not certainly least, the underwriters at Spartan Securities, who worked with us for quite some time. Thank you all.
Almost
We're
done.
Humbled, honored, and happy to be a part of the NASDAQ
You see,
family.
that's a company with a
Ultimate
different
Neuro
CEO than
is
me.
a
I am not the
preclinical stage
CEO.
biotech company
I don't
in
go
which
take their
many
money and
have
go like
invested.
spend it on buying
Investors
miners.
who were sick
He's like
and
a
tired of
nuclear
seeing their loved
physicist or
ones
something.
perish
He's a nuclear
from Alzheimer's disease.
scientist.
Sick and tired of seeing sufferers waiting for a slot in a clinical trials to become available. And sick and tired of victims of this dreadful disease not having enough treatment options. Well,
and
today,
tired.
we are proud to say that we may have options. Options for our
I've
families
seen this
and
video.
yours.
Yeah.
The first is a patented ionic co-crystal
By the way,
technology
that when we
delivering a
went public, it was
therapeutic
not in
combination of lithium,
patients
proline,
and not approved in
salicylate,
patients.
known as
It got approved to
AL001.
go in patients.
Simply
It's
put,
been in patients,
this lithium
and we've gotten
therapeutic
top line
has the
data.
potential to replace the
And of course,
current
the stock has
lithium
went down.
therapeutics on the market and
win.
to bring aid to the 38
By the way, you know,
plus
since
million
February, a lot of these
Americans
small caps have gotten
suffering not only
crushed,
from
right?
Alzheimer's disease, but
Yeah.
bipolar disorder, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Globally, that patient population extends well
Wow.
over 300 million people.
JCH
And that's
says,
not all.
are
We
you a
have a
scammer? I
second
never got
option.
my merch.
A
Randy,
patented
this guy never got his merch.
immunotherapeutic vaccine that
JCH,
seeks
if
to
you never got your
restore
merch,
the ability of the patient's
email us
immune
or text
system
us. We'll get it for you.
to
There's
combat
a
Alzheimer's,
possibility
known
that was a
as
transition thing,
AL001.
too.
Yeah, there was some
Our
transitional
recently
issues, but we have merch and we will
IPO
send
is
it to
an
you.
Important milestone we've achieved for our stockholders, associates, strategic partners, and for all who continue to suffer from the debilitating effects of Alzheimer's, bipolar disorder, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. We recently submitted our
Gabriel,
IND
are you working
application for
tonight?
AL001.
One of my favorite
utilizing
guys around
funding
in Vegas,
from the
Gabriel
IPO,
Medina. That guy
and
is
are on the
awesome.
precipice
Are you working
of
tonight, buddy?
commencing human clinical trials. This all started with one man's bravery, tenacity, and unrelenting drive to create a company dedicated to developing treatments for diseases that plagued his family. Todd, thank you very much for not giving up, and thank you for allowing us to join the fight, not only for your family, but our families, the rest of the United States, and the rest of the world. Thank you.
There isn't a more dedicated guy to working at Alzheimer's than Stefan Jackman. Really, Stefan is a great guy. I've really gotten to know him over time. Gabe, I wonder if you could find out if you can get me a table for 8, buddy. I haven't called in yet. Anyways, I don't know if you can. Hey, Gabe, see if you can put me in your spot. I don't know if it's possible. Dave Demersion, you have some Alzheimer's. Dave has been, this. Don't you guys pay attention to this guy, Dave Demersion, because he has a lot of information because he's known me for so many years. Hey, listen, I appreciate everyone watching that video. Hey, can you go back to the picture there, real quickly? That's a picture of my father. I look a little bigger than him, doesn't I? I'm adopted, by the way. But that's a picture of my dad, who is in an Alzheimer's clinic right now. He is not well, but he does occasionally smile, and he suffers from the debilitating effects of. Hey, can you do me a favor, Skyla, and switch out with Roland for a sec?
Yeah, sure.
We are going to bring a friend on of the show. As I said the other day, I'm a fan. He's overly nice, and I always am suspicious of people that are nice, but he's been nice for so long that I realize he's still a nice guy. Roland, welcome to the show. I know you have not been on that long. You have not been on that many times. Yeah, sorry, Roland. This subject sucks, but you have lost your mom and your father in a 1-month period. And for all those people out there who think things suck because Nile's down, doesn't really matter. If Nile were $10 higher, would it bring your father and mother back? The answer, of course, is no. It's rhetorical. We do actually run a company with now that we own the hotels, I think more than 200 or 300 employees. I don't know the exact number. We had 158 before the hotels. Now we have around 300. We have a lot of employees. And we care about the people, even though Roland is not an employee. He has used some office space here before. He is dating my niece.
We like Roland.
We like Roland. He's a decent golfer. I don't know how good, but
I'm not
decent.
that good.
No?
No.
You're a smart guy, though.
Yeah.
And I wondered how you doing?
Doing all right. You know, day by day, I'm excited for the new year. I don't know if 2022 could be nearly as difficult as 2021 was with, you know, loss of family members, COVID, you know, but luckily I've had a great support system. You guys have been all very great, and I'm excited for 2022. So we're hanging in there.
Roland, maybe you could tell people what you do. I know that you help people out in the advertising and sort of the car industry. The car industry is changing with Tesla and electric vehicles. I'm curious as to your commentary. Maybe give them a little bit of an overview of what you do, and then let's talk about the change in the car industry. The reason I bring this up is because what people do not pay attention to is that Nile, through a subsidiary, is an investor in a electric bus converting company. Jason, I know you're a fan of this technology, where you can take a bus, like a school bus, and transform it into being an EV bus, and you get state credit for that and stuff like that. We are an owner of one of those companies. We have a large stake in one of them. That's one of the many assets, the, quote, hidden value that Jason likes to talk about. Although, Jason, I've been learning about EV and extra value in poker and things that you've been teaching me about. Roland, can you kind of explain what you do?
Sure. So there's different divisions of the automotive industry, whether that be tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. Tier 1 would obviously be on a national level. And I work for a plethora of OEMs like BMW and Lotus, and we build their digital online presence, whether that be through high converting websites, and then monthly they'll give us money, and it's basically up to us for them to sell cars. Now, as all you guys know, there hasn't been any cars to sell because of the shortages, but we've been making it happen, and it's been a year of innovation and trying to figure out things that are working, and how can we draw consumers in, how can we draw consumers to, you know, pre-order their vehicles, trade their vehicles in. You know, of all my clients, they've had, you know, record gross months, yet they've been selling, you know, the least amount of cars ever because there's no cars to sell. So we're also in the e-commerce space, and we basically build up and bolster their digital online presence and create high converting software and technology that will help consumers convert and, you know, things of that sort.
Hey, Jason, speaking of used cars or new cars, you went to Florida and you were going to buy a car in Florida because you're actually a Florida resident. And talk to us about your experience in buying these cars that Roland says don't exist.
Yeah, I was in a couple of dealerships out in the parking lots looking for specific vehicles. They weren't available, and if there was a couple of vehicles out there that I was interested in, they would have a MSRP of $40,000, for example, and then they would have another sticker affixed to the windshield that would say dealer markup. And I saw some dealer markups that were $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 above MSRP. In fact, Todd, in Orange County, California, there's a YouTube gentleman, and he was doing some surveying of the Ford Bronco in different Ford dealerships. There was a Ford Bronco that was $40,000 MSRP, and they had, I believe it was a $60,000 markup. It was a $100,000 Bronco. Just crazy.
I have a S550 Mercedes, and I've driven it for 4 years. I love that car. I would probably never want to give it up. It's my favorite car I've ever owned. The used price of it is absurd.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, if you see your cars, I mean, they've gone up in value at least 10, 15%.
The world
over
is
the course of the
upside
last
down
year.
rolling because of this.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on episode 169. It's 2:01 on the left coast, but I'm not really on the left coast. I'm kind of in the middle because I'm at Nevada. Roland, you moved to Nevada for a girl.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, very special
What do you think
girl.
of that stuff?
Yeah.
Now, it must have been really exciting relationship to move from California, where you live kind of in beach country, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you lived by the water. Your roommate had a boat. Multiple boats. You were.
Yeah.
I saw you on the water a lot, and you decided I'm going to move to Nevada when it was 190,000 degrees, right?
Right. Well, in all honesty, my plan was to get out of California, and I was going to either go to maybe Texas because I like the culture out there, or maybe Florida or somewhere on the East Coast. But obviously, with everything going on with my family, I wanted to be somewhere where I could see them and be there for them, but also taxes, right? And then also, that was my plan before I met Skyla, and then when I met her, I was like, well, wherever she's going, I'm going.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty brave of you, because seriously, when Todd told me we were moving to Vegas, I know my wife's in an office and not watching the show, and I just said, we're moving to Vegas, you have no choice, and we moved.
Yeah, it's funny about how we moved to Vegas. It's 1 year as of yesterday we moved to Vegas. Remember that?
Yep, it is.
Joe, so let's talk about us going to dinner, because this is by the way, those of you who are bored, this is a year in review show, and Willie will cut all this up, so we got to do all this. So a year ago, more than a year ago, like about 4 or 5 months ago, for a year, so back a year and 3 months ago.
It's called September of 2019 or 2020.
I come to you and I take you to Morton's for dinner.
You did.
And you knew something's up then.
I did.
Right. And you said, I said, I'm moving to Vegas. I'm moving the whole company. And you're like, did you believe me? I want to hear you. Did you actually believe that I would leave Newport Beach on the water, a place I lived for 46 years in Southern California? Did you actually believe I would take everything and move to Nevada?
I actually did at that point, because, I mean, everything in California was going a bit crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Businesses were going to, we had...
just one example is, you want to come in our office, you better come armed, because there's like so many guns in this place. Like literally, the security guards have guns. We have guns. I know Jason will blow your head off. I mean, Jason literally, he's a walking arsenal.
So
Jesus. You better send a SWAT team.
I mean,
I'm just kidding around. I'm joking. I'm joking. There are guns, but they're concealed.
Well, and he wasn't joking that. I mean, our office is like the base of all Southern Highlands armed security. It's kind of crazy.
And I'm not worried about me. It's the security guards. They walk around with like 2 guns, like this is the OK Corral. Jason, you don't live here, but you live here. There's a bet that you're moving back to Florida. I think, honestly, I'm not joking around. Jason and I are friends, and Jason's wife and I are friends, and my wife and I are friends with Jason, the both of them, and we like to hang out. And there's a little rumor out there that they're only hanging out because they want to hang out with us, but they're probably going to move back to Florida. Jason, what was the desire for you to come to Vegas? Because I know you honeymooned here 20-something years ago. Was it just to play poker?
Yeah, I just wanted to always live in Vegas on the Strip. I don't want to live in the suburban area, but on the Strip, just because I play poker so much. So yeah, that was my intention, to come out here and just walk across the Harmon Street Bridge, go to Bellagio, Aria, play poker, cash games, make my baseball bets and stuff like that, and just live the life of a professional gambler in Vegas. And but since we met in 2017, I've been trying to do stuff in the crypto space, and now it looks like we are full steam ahead, and I'm very excited. And I haven't been playing poker so much, but we did get to play one tournament this year, and you got to play as well.
Dude, you cashing on that tournament, I got to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you, dude. That was one of the top 25 moments of my playing career. I really had a great. I don't know how to explain it, but I had so much fun. And only regret I made is that I had pocket jacks and I didn't bust you out. I should have busted you out. I didn't want to bet against Jason, and he and another guy were going betting more, and I went out. But I did bust out a former professional player. You knew that guy. I busted him out. And at that point, I was done. It didn't matter if I cashed. I busted out like a well-known professional player. But Jason had a chance to win the tournament.
Yep.
Jason, you won what, 50 grand or something, 40 grand? What'd you win there?
No, a little, 22,500.
Oh, wait, the first prize was 50 grand.
No, first place was 100,000.
109,000. You're right, 109,000. Right.
It's a weird step down on those though.
Yeah, but Jason really killed people. dude, he was crushing it, and it was really fun. And then I came and watched him, and then we had like some drinks. It was really great. The Golden Nugget, the what's his name? The guy who runs Tillman Fertitta. Wow, he's made the Golden Nugget like a legacy again. It was it's really impressive.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, well, it's like a. This isn't meant to sound like this, but if you thought of like the Golden Nugget as sort of like trailer, a little trailer, that's not the right word. But I'm thinking like not lower class, but just like really a common place to go that's not really fancy dancy.
Fancy like Applebee's?
Yeah, like Applebee's. He made Applebee's seem like really cool, but there's great food in there. And
oh, dude, there's
and
some
so it's above Applebee's in terms of the hotel, but the actual environment is like the common person can go have a good time there, and they're not all snooty like they are at Bellagio. When I play with Jason at Bellagio, it's like they'll bring us like 24-hour menus, and Jason's getting massages from women all night long, and it's like, and the cards are prettier, the chips are prettier, the tables are prettier. Oh, I'm at the Bellagio. The drinks are $30 each, and all. And the Golden Nugget is kind of cool.
It is.
I tell everybody to stay away from the Strip. I tell them go down to downtown Fremont. I mean, back in the day, it used to be kind of
Circa's beautiful.
I do want to remind everyone that Jason will be hosting a poker tournament when we're here for the Risk On conference. It's going to be a one-day kind of like a couple-hour thing, and you're going to have to register to be in it, and I'm going to provide you the winnings. So like I'm going to give you the tiers.
I'm registering.
If you buy a ticket to come to Risk On, you're automatically going to be in that tournament. I don't exactly know how it works because there's a bunch of rules here in Vegas.
Oh, there are a lot of rules.
And I know Cliff right now would be going, "Oh my God, shut up, dude! Don't say anything." But we're going to figure it out. I promise all you Nevada Gaming Commission people who are up my ass all the time about stuff. Well, they're really up Jason's ass, but not my ass because they're up. Jason gets kicked out of casinos because he kills them. But I promise you we'll follow all the rules.
Jesus Christ.
You do, dude. Jason got kicked out of the M. Like they literally said, "Stop coming here. You cannot play blackjack because you kill us." One night we were played for a half an hour, and all three of us, Jason was next to us, all three of us killed him, and the common denominator was Jason. Who? Why is everyone? It's not illegal to count cards, and I didn't say he counted cards. All I know is that they don't like Jason playing.
That one was weird, though. I mean, when they backed him off after just a very, very short time of play, it was weird.
Jason, you got to smile. Don't get mad about this. He's not happy.
He's an advantaged player.
Nobody from the M's watching.
Nobody cares.
I mean, yeah, just Gabriel. That's okay.
Yeah, but Gabriel works at the restaurant.
No, I played
by the way,
blackjack with Gabriel.
might I add, is one of the most detailed. Gabriel, if he should start his own restaurant. I know that's a big step from being a server, but he is a professional. It's really fun to go get service from Gabriel. He takes care. Great steak. I mean, I got to be honest with you guys. The place there in the M, one of the best steakhouses I've ever been to.
It is.
Yeah.
Really crazy.
Their buffalo is wonderful.
It's like a buffalo medallion thing going on. Roland, did you ever have that with me?
Never had the medallions, but I've been there. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really good for sure. All right, Roland. I'm excited to see that you are, in a good mood.
Listen,
I mean, I don't know what to say when someone loses their mother and father in a 30-day period, other than what comes to mind is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I assume you'll live as long as you can for your son or daughter when they're born. It just sucks. And I don't know how to say it any worse than that. It just sucks. It sucks. It sucks. But you have a good attitude, I'm sure. I saw some great pictures of your father. Boy, do you guys look alike.
You should see my younger brother.
Oh, my God. It's
uncanny.
I was looking at him going, what freaked me out about it is for a second I thought it was you. I'm like, what the hell kind of picture is this? And I was like, who's the little kid? Then I realized it was your father.
Yeah.
I was like, it really did freak me out for a second.
Well,
your mom's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see why you like blondes. I like blondes too. So, anyways, although I like Andrea too, and she's not a blonde. Well, I just got to be fair. I like what I like, right, Jason? Jason always reminds me, you can like my wife from a distance, but I have a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Andrea's a fan of me though. She's like,
I think she is.
Get away from me, fat boy. No, you can sit, grab a seat. Actually, it would be great if you could pull in Gary. So, guys, we're coming up on 2:15. We're gonna cover a few things about crypto mining, Joe. So, turning the page to crypto and trying to understand, we're at 46,457. You thought it would be 70,000. It got to 69,000.
That was close.
Yeah. Pretty big range, Jason, from 69,000 back to 46,000. Call it 500 for argument's sake. But what do you guys think? Why there's such volatility in this cycle? Is it just the long-term adoption? Is it because there's whales trading it?
I think when it got to 69, a lot of people pulled back out of it. I mean, it was a good place for a lot of them to get out, right? I mean,
right.
But when you do that, people start paying, especially in crypto. It's weird. If you look at the cycles of all these coins, and I'm not sure anyone could show a chart any different, as soon as there starts to be a big sell-off, it's a race to the bottom. And then it corrects itself because all the guys who wanted to get in, the big guys that's got actual money, when it hits a valley, they buy, right? Because they've got the money.
Hey, Jason, Michael Saylor at MicroStrategies continues to pile in. He just bought more. This guy is, does he know something we don't know? I mean, he is, he's borrowing money and buying more and borrowing money and buying more. What do you think?
Oh, but I see a lot of whales pulling coins off exchanges and putting them in cold storage, which is going to create less of a selling pressure, in my opinion, on the exchanges into 2022. Just my opinion.
But what do you think about what Michael Saylor's doing in the terms of the sheer size?
Saylor's the Peter Schiff of Bitcoin. Saylor is going to be buried in Bitcoin. I mean, the guy is so good for the sector. He's always available. He's always debating people. He likes to do a lot of shows for some of the smaller guys. He reminds me of the First Majestic Silver CEO. He's just a big proponent of spreading the information and helping people understand Bitcoin, helping people understand the crypto sector. And he's fully committed, man. He's committed.
He's a great ambassador for it.
By the way, rumors are, just a rumor, it's not official yet. We're trying to get him to be a keynote speaker at the Risk On conference.
Oh, that'd be rad.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I know we're engaged in conversation with him. We'll see what happens. You don't know. You never know, right? Hey, speaking of Saylor, here we are. We have Gary in the house. Gary, recently, obviously, Alzheimer's fame, the man who helped us with the University of Tampa, the man who helped me buy DPW many years ago. Gary, what are your thoughts on AL001 getting good top-line data? The following information is the thoughts of Gary. Gary is not an employee of Alzheimer's Neuro. He is a shareholder, so let's be clear, he owns shares. So he is biased. But Gary, your thoughts on AL001 top-line data? I know you think it could be a lithium replacement. Maybe give people a 5-minute overview of why you're so bullish.
Thanks, Todd. Happy New Year, everyone. AL01, I'm going to just start off with, think lithium 2.0, a non-toxic lithium never imagined before by medical science as being possible. You're
not saying it's non-toxic. You're hoping it's non-toxic, correct?
Correct. Prove out to be a non-toxic, greatly a greater bioavailable therapeutic than anything what we call analog today. Currently available. I have friends who take lithium treatments, so I'm very familiar with this topic. A001 has the potential, at minimum, to be a lithium replacement, and I say that because
how big of a market would it be if it was a lithium replacement?
Minimum of 3 million, and that's actually a great question, Todd. There are estimated 3 million prescribed prescriptions out there by patients. The question that I have is...
Nile, through a subsidiary, owns 22 million shares, but you got to include all the options and warrants and stuff like that. So every $10 on Alzheimer's up, I believe, is $220 million if it
Correct.
were to be successful and the stock were to go higher. And I caveat by saying this is not a recommendation of Balzamanda. I am the largest shareholder by physical size and by actual ownership. But Gary, you were saying about it being lithium 2.0?
Yes, lithium 2.0. Think about the toxicity of lithium over the many years is why Big Pharma came out with their own non-lithium treatments, because the toxicity and the costs associated with that form of treatment, the blood monitoring, the necessity for blood monitoring was tremendous, highly inconvenient for a patient, let alone families. And so now that you potentially have a lithium 2.0, the possibilities, how many patients, and I surmise in the last 20 years, have never had their physician ever contemplate using a lithium treatment for their treatment? I think that there would be a huge transition over the first 5 years once this went to full market. And that's why I'm excited about A001. As it goes through clinical trials and more and better information comes through, and if it's proven out to what we hope it to be, or even half of what we hope it to be, the marketplace opens up not to 3 million, but as Stefan Jackman, the CEO of Alzheimer's, has mentioned, a potential marketplace of over 40 million patients just in this country.
What I was thrilled about to see was that the toxicity was, it looked like it had a smaller dose, about half the dosage, but just as effective and may not require a blood test. Guys, Gary has been with me a long time. Gary, how many years you been with me?
Since 2008.
2008. Oh boy, those are the bad days. You probably started off with the whirlwind of how we going to survive here. Gary, with Ault and Company, BitNile, Ault Alliance, you know, I don't know what the holdings are, maybe 400 million, 350 million, 300 million, 500 million. Give or take, stocks are volatile. What do you think about the ride for 2021? This is a year in review show. We went public earlier this year. People forget we have a SPAC now. We have a publicly traded SPAC. We're on the prowl looking to buy things in that SPAC. And by the way, we own about 20% of it because that's the carry. So BitNile / Ault Alliance would earn extra money if we put something good in that SPAC. Jason, are you going to help us look for something in that SPAC?
Need to identify a target, that's for sure. We'll be looking to do that. I will definitely assist.
So Gary, back to AL001, you were part of looking into and talking to the scientists about the Alzheimer's side of it.
Correct.
And what my understanding is that in the animal models, it slowed the progression of Alzheimer's and it improved cognitive function. Can you talk about that in a way where we're not endorsing the drug? That part has not been tested by the FDA. But we did do preclinicals, and they said it was going to be more safer than lithium. So far, so good. In the preclinicals, it also said it helps Alzheimer's patients. So far, so good. Your thoughts?
My thoughts is there are a number of tests done in preclinical with different animal models, and they all tend to deliver the same kind of results regardless of the model that was involved, whether it was mice, rats, rodents, and that is a positive thing. These are animal models that are targeted for Alzheimer's research, but moreover.
But this next phase 2 will have Alzheimer's patients in it, correct?
That's correct.
Right. So the next time we get data, it will be not only about the drug for lithium, but it'll also be about what's going on with Alzheimer's, right?
Yeah, the information the results we've recently received a couple weeks ago demonstrates to a certain degree the non-toxicity of A001. The therapeutic value of A001 will now be determined, or start to be determined, by phase 2 and phase 3s over the next couple of years. And with the fact that we can partner with the FDA through a fast track application is very exciting. One thing I want to go back to is, Todd, starting in the beginning of 2021 as we transitioned here to Las Vegas, so much of this had not happened. We were talking about, trying to pursue to get to the NASDAQ and trying to get into clinic and we were staging, and we've accomplished so much just in the calendar year 2021. It has been a transformative year for Alzheimer's, let alone in the community where other companies who are going after AD and neurodegenerative and neuropsychiatric conditions, they have also come to the forefront. And the whole Biogen story just, I think, lends credibility to the potential of what we're going to do. Biogen, everybody at one time thought it was the cure-all, the be-all, and that hasn't been, unfortunately, the case for Alzheimer's patients. But we kind of, suspected that. At least I suspected that. I know Mr. Jackman said we suspected that, which is unfortunate. And we look forward to Alzheimer's moving forward its two therapeutics and delivering, hopefully, what will be true benefit to patients who suffer and their families.
Hey, Gary, we appreciate that. We'll talk about AL002 another time. Keep in mind, guys, AL001 is going to file for other indications. They've told us this. Bipolar, PTSD. Hey, Gary, real quickly on the PTSD bipolar side, obviously the VA a big deal here. Just a
Tremendous.
you got 30 seconds here. What's your comments on the opportunity for neurodegenerative psychiatric issues with lithium?
The VA would be,
in your opinion,
in my opinion, the VA would be institutionally the largest customer for Alzheimer's, because with A001, who in this country has the largest populations of the 4 indications, as Todd indicated? The VA. 1 million patients of Alzheimer's, short of 1 million for PTSD. And the same is for depression and bipolar. The VA demonstrably is a great target in the near future for Alzheimer's to contemplate in becoming a clinical trial partner.
Gary, appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Happy New Year. Jason, we're going to wrap the show up with you and I, buddy. Skyla's going to tell her joke first, and then we're going to talk about some of the trades. We're going to review some of the trades we did earlier this year. Look at those names. Skyla, let's get that joke out of you.
All right, I actually have 2.
Uh-oh.
So, 1, why should you put your new calendar in the freezer?
Why should you put your new calendar in the freezer?
So you can start your new year off in a cool way.
Okay, there you go. There you go. I got that.
And the second one, what's a New Year's resolution? Something that goes in one year and out the other.
Nice.
Nice.
Those are dad jokes.
Yep.
We only tell clean dad jokes here. That's money. That's a Bitcoin for you there. Hey, oh, that's a Satoshi. I'm not giving you a Bitcoin. Hey,
yeah, that's Satoshi.
Hey, Jay Money. One of the biggest winning trades for the year for us was Naked Brands. But we're not going to talk about Naked Brands today because it's now called Centro. But we made money on IKNX, which is now TeraWulf.
Yes.
What do you think about that sort of reverse merger into that concept of taking an existing public company, spinning out a contingent value right? What do you think of TeraWulf? What do you think about what they're doing? Let's just go through some of the trades. TeraWulf, we made almost $2.7 million on that trade. Thoughts?
Yeah, that was a very, very good trade. TeraWulf, actually,
13,
you identified that.
13D,
you identified
right.
that.
13D
yeah, you
file.
identified that very, very early. You were ahead of the game. And
you know what else we made money on, Jason? If you remember, I pulled it up on my screen. If you could pull it up real quick, Jason. The stock is $5.45. Do you remember this stock?
Oh, I remember. Oh my God.
Wait, the stock is $5.45 now?
Yeah, the stock is $5.45 now. Can we leave it up on the screen, please?
What? I mean, Naked's $5.45 now,
No,
right?
the stock is $5.45 now. It's POWW.
Oh, pow. Yeah.
Jason,
Wow.
that was an identified trade earlier in the year. We had a lot of money in that. I mean, we really, I think at one point owned like 1 million something shares.
Yep. Preferred.
Yeah, with a preferred did great. So the stock looked like it had a high of, what's the high and the low for the year? 1037 low, 321. Stock's 545. We sold it in a 7 some change range. We made about, I want to say I think we made about $600,000. But What are your thoughts on this trade, and how did it come up in your mind? I'm trying to give people sort of a thought of the year as to what you were thinking at the time and why you liked POW.
I was more of a geopolitical trade, if I'm being honest. Fear of regulation with ammo. There's a shortage of copper, increasing copper prices. There was a lot of shortages because of the change in administrations, and we just identified it as a value play. And then their expansion and growth into Wisconsin, building a new facility in the United States. And they had some good leadership that had been in the guns and ammo sector for some time. So yeah, that's basically how we identified it.
A lot of stocks come up on my screen. Let me bring them to you and just tell me your thoughts here. BCTX, we sold. That was a big win. SSY, another big win. KTT.
SSY, yeah, SSY. One second. SSY was identified as a low flow
13D filing. We ended up, yeah.
It was undervalued.
Let me go through a couple others. SSY, KTTA, that was lucky. We got out of that one with a $800,000 profit. KTTAW, the warrants, another $400,000. Wow. MRAI 375, MDRR about 250 grand. Square Foot, Lithium, the IPO of Lithium. That Lithium IPO was huge for us. LITM. Borks. POWWP, the preferred, the diamonds, Mosey, PETV, TRCH. That was one of the you torture.
Oh wow,
dude, that was a torture. Triple Qs, LMFA, Tesla, Gray Scale, Clean Spark, FCX, one of your favorite, Fremont, for Freeport McMoran.
Yeah.
Netflix, we were short that stock. Peloton, short that stock. We made money there. Riot, we made money in Palantir, WLMS, MLLLF, YVR, GRTX, GE, Facebook, METX, JAN. These are bringing back some memories. Mara, we made money in Mara. Neuro, Microsoft. WM Beverage, AUMN, that was your deal. Gold.
Wow.
AUMN, yeah, for sure. Wolf, WOOL. Coinbase, you had me in that thing. General Motors, JFIN, LGHL, BBIG, Clover, CL. Jeez, Jason.
I remember Clover.
Amazon, SAVA. Remember that? Was it Saba? No, wait. ANDS. That computer program you had. AEZS, JP Morgan. What are some of the losers we had for the year? Because I know that everyone gets me in trouble. Oh, he only identifies the winners. We're down in VRPX. We're down in BIVI. We're down in AG. Thank you, Jason, for that AG trade.
AG's bad.
Alzheimer's we're down in. Well, actually, we're still up, but that's a weird thing. Alzheimer's pulled back. HUSA we're down in. TIBC. SSNT's down a little bit, not much actually. We sold some that are. You know what I lost money in and made money? It was really weird. I made money in Robinhood, and then it went all the way back to like $80 one day and back to 50. I mean, terrible.
GAME, Game.
Yeah, Game sucked. Friedman were flat. VJet down about 15,000. But it's been a fun year. Some huge winners. UUUU.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Triple U's.
Yeah, UUU made us a lot of money. Jason, anything this year that you thought was like you want to talk about that happened to us this year in terms of trading that you thought was interesting?
Well, the one thesis I had was that and we took a large position, and we still have the full position, was AG, First Majestic. That was my, I was very convicted on that play based on the current, the debt of the United States, current economic inflation, and other ancillary items that I was very interested in seeing. I still haven't given up on AG. I think AG is going to be a great play for 2022. It just goes to show you that some of these positions that you're long, I mean, these could be thesis for, 1 to 5 years. First Majestic, I do believe there will be a silver shortage. I do believe that Basel III, which is going to be in 2022, is going to encompass some clarity as far as what banks do with paper shorts and precious metals and other synthetic shorts. I think that's going to be addressed. And I really think Keith, the CEO of First Majestic, is probably going to rally some other CEOs. This is pure speculation. And they're going to try to hold inventory. A lot of these larger pure silver plays are going to try to hold inventory, in my opinion. Keith tried to do it at the end of 21. I think there's going to be some other CEOs from other miners that might hold out, and they're not satisfied with exchanging pure silver 0.999 pure for fiat currency at the current spot price of $23. It just doesn't seem reasonable when you have, it takes 80 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. When you look at the large, the historical chart of a silver to gold ratio is generally between 16 and 32 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold. I really see the precious metals and commodity sectors into 2022. I'm very bullish on those. So yeah, that's the one trade that just kind of confused me a lot this year.
Yeah, it's strange. The strong dollar is a strange.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
What we're going to see about tapering and we're going to see about interest rates is Powell bluffing. I mean, are they going to taper buying bonds and mortgage-backed securities? Will they really have the stones to raise rates 3 times? They're going to get a glimpse of the Fed funds rate when they raise it 0.2. And then the debt, the interest on the debt, the 29 trillion we owe is just going to, magnify even more.
I saw the debt clock, Jason, and it's really close to
30 trillion.
Yeah,
dude, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, we're just printing money out of thin air. Like you said, the amount of currency, the amount of dollars have been printed in the last year or two is just astronomical. And
so the debt clock is 29 trillion. 480 billion 271 million 400,000.
Crazy. Here's the one you want to look at.
The federal deficit is around 6.9 billion.
The one you want to be interested in is the national debt to GDP ratio. It's probably 140%. It's probably on the right hand side.
What line is that?
It's like middle right. The debt to GDP ratio is a massive problem.
Oh my God. That number used to be small.
That's a huge problem.
142%.
If you want to focus on something, look at that historically.
I can see that right here on the screen. I've got my arrow pointing to it. Yeah. 142%. Wow.
That's a major problem.
It's a big number.
So.
What do you say? Roland is saying it used to be in the 50s.
Yeah, it's a huge problem, and of course, with the different variants and
so the debt per taxpayer, the debt per taxpayer is 231,000 per taxpayer. The debt per citizen is 88,478. You heard Elon Musk earlier. I saw him talk about I wouldn't give subsidies for EV anymore. That freeloader, Elon Musk, 11 billion, 12 billion in taxes isn't enough for Elizabeth Warren. He's a freeloader. I think he's paid an average of 1.2 million in taxes per day that he's been in the country. He's the single biggest paying taxpayer as an individual citizen in the history of mankind. Speaking of mankind, now take that off your face. Really?
What does it matter?
Why do you need that?
Can you hear me? You can hear me, right?
Who is that?
It's the Max Unabomber. He's gonna axe murder us. That's what an axe murderer wears, Randy. God, are you smiling under there? Because I'm joking. Hello?
I'm fine. What's up?
It's just, wow. What is this?
Randy.
I need to respect my coworkers, unlike some coworker that came in here and didn't respect me. So that's what it's about.
He's not happy with Caesar. Caesar came into work sick.
Yeah.
And then he coughed over everyone and gave everyone COVID, allegedly. I don't know whether that's
true.
I
got a test that's pending. I don't know what the test's outcome's going to be. I'm hoping it's a negative, but what if it isn't? And I'm here with Nick and Brett, the guys I love, and I'm going to jeopardize them. I cannot do that. So I think I should be applauded, actually.
I would agree.
Ooh, I like that.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Randy, we're not done, Jason and I, talking about the stock market, but we do want to cover. I want to cover one of my favorite topics, Indy and the F1. So, who won the Indy Championship this year?
Alex Palou, unfortunately, for Chip Ganassi Racing.
Right.
Second was Newgarden, and third Pato Award. And I told you guys earlier in the year when I first started coming on the show that I thought Pato Award was going to be big, and I thought he could win the championship. He almost did. He almost won the Indy 500. So I wasn't too far off on my prediction there. I mean, he was strong all year, and I think next year, in fact, he'll be even better next year.
Who do you think wins the Indy championship next year? The whole entire, all 17 races, the actual championship.
Well, again, I gotta stick with Pato Award. I really believe he will. But Colton Herta is going to be super strong too. He had a lot of bad luck this year, a lot of mechanical failures, things out of his control. But I really believe that Pato Award and Colton Herta are here to stay. They're going to be fighting for that championship. And of course, Palou, I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's got a good car with Ganassi. He's got more confidence than ever now that he won a championship, right? So. And then, look out for Grosjean. Grosjean's on the Andretti team now, and he had no business, being second and fifth in a couple of these races with Dale Coyne Racing last year, but he was, and that was all driver talent. So now that he's got a great team behind him and a great car, look out. I mean, Grosjean's going to do something. He's hungry to win, and I think he definitely will this year.
Well, okay. So my prediction for the entire season.
Yeah.
It's going to come as no surprise to you.
Oh boy, here we go.
What is it?
No, I think that it's going to come as no surprise to you. Who do you think I'm going to pick?
I don't know.
You have
Wait
no
a minute,
idea.
hold on.
You never tell me, dude. You always ask me in my opinion, but you never stick your neck out and tell me who you like. But when somebody,
Randy,
yeah,
is it good? All right, I'm gonna just use one consonant. Is it letter C? That's all I'm gonna say.
Letter D.
Letter C.
Okay.
He's asking, who do you think wins? Yep. Who do you think? Who do you think does well at the Indy Series this year?
Dude, spit it out.
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't do it. Todd has to do it. Todd, it's your pick.
Say it. Don't be shy, man. We all stuck our necks out with our predictions. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm pulling mine up here. Hold on a second here.
Okay.
Yeah, show your. There we go.
Okay.
I am picking Connor Daly to win the entire series. He'll to be the series champion. What do you think of that? And maybe he'll even win. Maybe he'll even win the Indy 500.
Now that's pretty bold
cow.
because he hasn't won a race, so that's pretty bold prediction.
Oh, you're right.
He's a good guy, though. Connor Daly's a great guy. I've met him. I met his mom. His mom's married to the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Good people. Good people.
On to F1, your favorite sport, one of my favorite sports, not my favorite, but one of them. What do you think for next year? Who wins?
Wow, next year is going to be exciting because, of course, we have this regulations changes with the cars. So the engines won't change, but the cars will. Now they've removed a lot of the extra aerodynamic devices on the car so that they're a lot cleaner. And previously, for example, in this past year, if you got 3 car lengths behind a car, you're losing 35% of your downforce. And when you got 1 car length behind the car in front of you, you're losing 47% of your downforce, which meant as soon as you got about a car length behind another car, you're like dead in the water. You can't go no further. You can't pass the car. You can't get up any closer to the car. To eliminate that, they've removed all this extra aerodynamic pieces that were part of the car. It's a lot cleaner. And then they have 18-inch wheels being introduced where they had 13-inch wheels for years now. So it's going to be a lot of difference in the car.
Wheels are going to go 5 inches bigger?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
All this is designed to make the racing closer, and there's going to be more passing allegedly. They've done the aerodynamic work in the wind tunnel. It remains to be seen. This is all projections that they have, but they had to do something. It's been stagnant for quite a while, and it is true. Like if you're not Hamilton or Verstappen, you can't really pass anybody. These other guys are kind of just stuck. Some of the back markers could pass each other here and there, but it's pretty much been pretty boring. Let's face it. I mean, unless you like Hamilton or Verstappen, it's been pretty boring. There's not a lot of action up front. I mean, these guys take off, and then it's, the other 15, 16 guys behind them are left to fend for themselves, and it's just not exciting at all. So it's looking like if it comes out to their projections, it will be a lot more exciting next year. So we'll see.
What about Ferrari? What about Ferrari?
Oh man, I just hope they can come back. I mean, see, this gives all the other teams hope, is what it does. The engines won't change, but I mean, this gives you hope. If you couldn't pass cars, if you didn't have a good car the last couple of years, this gives you hope that you might be able to do something like McLaren, Ferrari. There's McLaren and Ferrari fans all over the world that have been dying for some, just give them a crumb off the table, And now if this works out, hopefully they can be in the mix. I mean, everybody wants to see that. You want to see 3 or 4 manufacturers fighting for the championship is what you want to see inevitably. And that's what the leaders in Formula One and the powers to be that run it, they want to see that too. They want more exciting racing, and I think the fans do too. So, hopefully that's what we'll get. We'll see. I mean, I'm looking forward to it because it can't get any worse.
Hey, Randy, I appreciate you being here in Vegas. You've been here with me for a while. What do you think so far?
Oh, man, I love it. It's just, I swear every day, and I've told you this privately, and I'll tell you publicly that every day I thank God for my life now. I'm so happy I left California, and ever since I've been here, I just fell in love with Nevada instantly. I mean, when I see the sun set over the mountains at night, and I mean, I love it, man. I couldn't be happier, and I'm never going back to California, I can tell you that. And I think the future is bright. And, I was telling you something the other day. I don't know if you know this, or I know Jason doesn't know, but my friend was telling me, Chris, that he watches the show. He goes, tell Todd I watched the show. And he says he likes the show, but he says, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I told him the same thing. It's like, I hear you and Jason, you guys are so brilliant, dude. And all the trading you do and all the deals you do and the Bitcoin, it's incredible. I'm just so honored and privileged to be in your guys' presence. And I don't understand either. I watch every day, and I still don't understand what you guys are doing. But I'm just lucky to be along for the ride with you guys. And thank you so much.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason, I wanted to wrap up the show with you talking about you've been here with me for a year. We did the show together. We started it in February, the end of February. We're on the 169th episode. We're actually investing in the show. We're going to have better graphics. We're going to have a producer that pre-proves the stuff in the coming months ahead. But I wondered, what do you think about what we've done the last year? What are your thoughts on 2021?
Yeah, I think it's been great. I mean, we even tried to do the Risk on Sports show for some time. I mean, we were beyond redlined. Our day jobs, people forget, we have day jobs that have, massive demand. Yours even, much more than mine, obviously. But I think we stayed pretty consistent. Oftentimes there were days where we just couldn't do any research, didn't really know what was going on from a current event standpoint or, geopolitical or anything that could affect the markets. But I think it's really, really great that we're able to do this. A lot of companies just don't have the time or, the people to be convicted to coming out here and just providing insight and, just our opinions and stuff like that, answering questions for people that tune in. We really appreciate people that have tuned in, and we look forward to 2022. Like you said, we're investing in the show. Hopefully we'll have someone that will be able to prepare us with nutrients and stuff for the show, that we're not, scrambling around to grab all the different, details of what's going on in the world. Yeah, really thank you for having me on the team, and we look forward to sticking to our business plan for 2022, providing updates bi-monthly for BitNile, and also doing what we can as a team to provide as much shareholder value as possible. And thank you.
Hey, if you're a shareholder of BitNile, look for the update on Bitcoin mining on January 3rd, because that's the first business day of the month. I'm frustrated. I got to admit, I really do want to explain to people why I think we're creating value here. The market is not rewarding us for that. We raised $200 million this year at an average price of $3.81. The stock closed, I believe, about $1.20. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to other people that are smarter than me. And for that, I'm going to say I'm frustrated. But I also remind myself of something and I'm not saying that I'm Amazon, for Christ's sake. Please, I'll start that off ahead of time. But hold on a second. Not supposed to have dead space.
Hey, do you guys know it's snowing in here?
Sorry.
It is.
So,
yeah.
It's what?
It's snowing.
Oh, well. I'm going to play a clip, and it's worth it.
You're going to like it here.
Give me a second. I'm not saying we're Amazon, so just don't think I'm saying that. But I'm trying to give you some perspective. Can you play this, please?
Now we're going to sell things more than books.
After books, we started selling music, and then we started selling videos. And then I got smart, and I emailed 1,000 randomly selected customers and asked them, besides the things we sell today, what would you like to see us sell? And that answer came back incredibly long-tailed. The way they answered the question was with whatever they were looking for at that moment. So like I remember one of the answers was, I wish you sold windshield wiper blades because I really need windshield wiper blades. And I thought to myself, we can sell anything this way. And then we launched electronics and toys and many other categories over time. And the vision became, because you read the original business plan, it's just books.
Your stock at one point, I think, went to $100, but then it went down to $6 or something like that.
This is the important part.
At the peak of the internet bubble, our stock peaked somewhere around $113. Okay. And then after the internet bubble, busted open, our stock went down to $6. It went from 113 to 6 in less than a year. So my annual shareholder that year starts with a one-word sentence, and that one-word sentence is the word ouch.
So most of those internet companies of the dot-com era are out of business.
Yeah.
You survived. What was it that made you to survive, and virtually the rest of them are gone?
That whole period is very interesting because the stock is not the company, and the company is not the stock. And so as I watched the stock fall from 113 to 6, I was also watching all of our internal business metrics, number of customers, profit per unit, everything you can imagine, defects, etc. Every single thing about the business was getting better and fast. And so as the stock price was going the wrong way, everything inside the company was going the right way. And we didn't need to go back to the capital markets. We didn't need more money. The only reason, a financial bust like the internet bubble bursting is, makes it really hard to raise money. But, we already had the money we needed. So we just needed to continue to progress.
Wall Street kept saying, well, Amazon's not making any money. They're just getting customers. Where's the profits? Where are the profits? And Wall Street kept beating you up on that. And your response was, I don't really care what you think?
Amazon was, people always accused us of selling dollar bills for 90 cents. And said, look, anybody can do that and grow revenues. That's not what we were doing. We always had positive gross margins. It's a fixed cost business. And so what I could see is that from the internal metrics is that at a certain volume level, we would cover our fixed costs and the company would be profitable.
So I appreciate that, and I wanted to play that because I wanted people to understand that I keep saying the metrics that I see internally. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on a second. Hold on. The matrix that I see internally, the numbers I see are more installed miners, better power cost, control of our data center. We bought that data center for $4 million. A lender owner, a balance sheet that's stronger. Up until today, virtually no debt. We took on some debt, but relative to the size of our balance sheet, doesn't bother me. It bothered everyone else today. I really want people to understand that this is the conundrum of the market sometimes. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to be clear. I bought more stock today. Now, I enter a blackout period on January 3rd because the year ends, and so I will not be able to be in the market because of the blackout period. Mm-hmm. But I did buy more today. I'll file a Form 4 on Monday. I bought more for the hedge fund, which I think at this point has 6,350,000 shares in the hedge fund. I think we own close to 11% or something.
That's good.
I don't know. I don't know exact numbers, but I'll make sure that they're all published. You Joe, are handling the mining business.
I am.
What do you see in terms of, because I looked at what Jeff said, and he's like, we're a fixed cost business. We largely have a fixed cost, right? We have to pay for the power, which is a long-term power agreement.
Right.
We have to pay for the building, which we already did.
Correct.
We have to pay for an installation. We have to keep the miners running because they can break. But that is the fixed cost, right?
Yeah.
But once those miners are installed, then it's subject to the margin of what Bitcoin is, right?
It is.
Right. Jason, so in one degree, when you keep minting those freshly minted Bitcoin, you effectively have a fixed cost business subject to whatever the input is of the actual cost of Bitcoin, where our power's fixed, our price of our building's fixed. We've already bought the miners, so you can see what I'm talking about in terms of future cash flow, right? Our one concern is the future price of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one concern, the difficulty, obviously. How many exahash are going to be brought on board in addition to what's currently on board for 2022? But like you said, like everything's fixed cost, human capital, we own the building, we have professionals in place that can deploy the miners in a timely fashion. We have logistics in place, have a great relationship with logistics company that brings our precious cargo in a timely fashion, very transparent. We have everything in place to keep deploying and executing our model or our plan of deploying 20,600 miners by the year end of 2022. So
Jason,
it just takes time.
Jason, your thoughts on lending? Do you think small companies, say market caps of say 50 million to 250, 300 million, will still have to borrow money?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
so
the lender would have a margin there. And then, Jason, your thoughts on real estate? I mean, are people ever going to go back to staying at a hotel? Because I know we underwrote that hotel to 50%, 2% occupancy. I mean, do you think people are going to stay at a Hilton or a Marriott anymore?
Well, I can tell you this from personal experience. I just drove 2,350 miles and I stayed in a couple of hotels and they were packed. So I think we're safe there.
Right. And do you think people are going to need power supplies for their stuff they make there? Because obviously, Turn on Green Digital Power makes power supplies.
Yeah, of course.
Do you think peace is breaking out worldwide where Gresham will not need to make defense products anymore?
I suppose it's
Israel,
possible.
do they not need defense anymore?
I suppose it's possible.
We've been building a company that we think has strong assets over time. It has not been a pleasant experience. There have been moments in time where we were at $7.99, $10 earlier, and then we're now down at $1.21. And I'll probably be limiting my comments going forward because I've completed what I wanted to buy in terms of whether they were startups or acquisitions, et cetera. I know Chris has some things in the work, but in large part, I'm done, right? And I feel like we had a great year in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to let the price bum me out because I got to buy more. The market said, "Hey, Todd, you want to buy more of this? We'll sell it to you at a good price." So I said, "Okay." Below book value. I'm all right with that. I mean, not happy. I bet you're not happy either, Joe. You have a lot of old DPW, which is now Nile shares.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I got to tell you, it's been a great year. I mean, as far as the company goes, it's amazing.
Been a great year. Hey, guys, I'm really thankful to all the people at the company, and I'm going to go through them really quickly. I'm going to go thanks to Willie Ames, Cliff, who just joined us. Special thanks to my friend Jason, Andrea for being out here in Vegas. Joe and his wife Diana and family for moving here. Randy Kepper, my friend of 30 years and a quasi-family member because his sister's married to my cousin. Nick and Brett, who are already in Vegas, who do all of our technology stuff in the background here. Skyla for moving here. My sister-in-law for moving here. Just give me a minute here because I got a lot of people. Caesar's out here. Canner moved down here from San Francisco. What?
Patrick.
Oh, Patrick, he did. Wow, Patrick moved from Newport Beach. That was a tough road. Even my son, who's as bougie as they get, moved from UCLA, Beverly Hills / Brentwood, moved to Vegas. Of course, he lives in Summerlin. Woo! No, I'm just kidding around. I love you. Chase, I'm totally kidding around. Who else moved out here? I don't want to forget anybody.
Who else moved out? Sansaray.
Sansaray Corbin.
Gary
another
Gottlieb.
person I've worked with for 30 years. Sansaray, who helps with the hedge fund. A lot of other things she does here. Gary Gottlieb, who has worked with us for a long time. He moved out here from California. He's a California boy. Used to run around and party with the Bus family, the Lakers, and all that stuff. He knows. That guy knows everybody. Gary, I think Gary was their drug dealer or something. I don't know.
My God.
I don't know. No, Gary's just connected. I'm just kidding around. I mean, he's just a connected guy. He knows everybody. He's always, it's like 1 degree. I'm like, they say 1 degree of Todd Ault is 1 degree of Gary Gottlieb.
You got Darren in California.
Darren McGo, he's still in California, you pussy for not moving here.
The whole team in Irvine.
The whole team in Newport moved to Costa Mesa to our new office in accounting. Shout out to people at Enertech, Svika and the team, the engineering team at Enertech. Shout out to Gresham Limited, and the acquisition of RELAC is now in our family under Gresham Worldwide. Obviously, Gresham Worldwide is merging with Gigatronics. That'll be fun, and hopefully they uplist next year into the NASDAQ. We'll own about 68% to 70% of that company combined. That'll be a consolidated company. Shout out to Amos for turning the company to Turn on Green. Jody, Burchin, who is on the board of Turn On Green. She was very instrumental in that. Douglas Gens, Marcus, I never say his name right, Costavastra. The whole team at Turn On Green, they're really finally got approval for those EV units. They're turning that on. Those sales are happening on Amazon and other places. I don't want to miss anybody.
Oh, you're seriously going to miss this group of people?
Who?
Will, Henry, Jay.
Not shout out to Will, my business partner. Yeah, Will, the CEO of what is BitNile now, and my business partner. I'm the executive chairman. We've been together a long time. Will knows I love him. Terry, his wife.
The people back
Henry
east.
Nisser, Sean. Henry Nisser, our general counsel. James really was a big recruit. I've known James a long time. He has really helped out in the legal department. He's associate general counsel. Sean, who was he joined? Love you, Laura Kim. Who am I missing?
Did you get Chris?
Chris Wu.
Wow, Chris Wu.
I mean, you talked about him a lot today.
A big new hire from Tenejo. Well, I'll get to them. Chris Wu, I don't people realize he is a huge hire for this firm. He is president of Alt Alliance. He is a talented banker. He brought us that, he'll get that $69 million for 7% for those hotels. He's working on some interesting projects. He's a former Tenejo guy, former Karl Marx and JP Morgan restructuring guy.
Yep.
Really have a talented team. I don't want to leave anyone. I already talked about Patrick, who's in banking here. Chase. Who am I missing here?
The guys back in Michigan.
The data center people. Brian, thank you for that.
Yes.
Marty and Jay, obviously important there. Darren's team back at Alliance Cloud Services. What?
He got Tanner.
I did. Stefan Jackman, the CEO of Alzheimer's Neuro. Who am I missing here? I think we got everyone, didn't we? If I miss someone, I'm going to be bummed. I want to say special thanks to my wife who puts up with my nonsense. I told her a bunch of years ago, we're going to create a holding company. We're going to get a lot of assets. And then we're going to spend a long time maximizing those assets.
I know who you
which
forgot.
includes spin-offs, IPOs, etc. Special thanks to the banking team at Alliance Global, who helped with the IPO of the SPAC. Special thanks to Bill Coons and Spartan Securities for helping us go public on the NASDAQ. Special thanks to the NASDAQ. Ken and Spencer at Olsham, our outside lawyers.
You forgot another Ken.
Who? Oh, Ken Cragen, our CFO.
But you forgot one really
I'm not
funny
gonna
person.
Forget him. I was gonna. He was
no,
not.
no, but there's one
David
person. David
Katzoff.
Well, no.
What?
In Georgia and
Georgia.
No.
What?
Can you guess one person that's on the show that you forgot to actually say that person's name?
On the show, Skyla?
Yeah.
No, I said thanks. I told her thank you for moving here. I think Skyla.
I don't think you did.
Oh my God! If I missed somebody, it wasn't on purpose. David Katzoff, who has been instrumental in helping me organize the company, for sure. Amos Khan, the CEO of Turn On Green.
Already got him.
I know.
Got a couple. We're missing a couple more.
Who are we missing?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Frank Albo for sure. All of his assistance has been tremendous. Really appreciate that.
Dr.
Also,
Frank, people in the behind the scenes, people don't understand Dr. Frank. You can see a video of him and I. This guy is the king of Bitcoin, by the way. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
I want to thank the shareholders, current shareholders, and everything investors. And I also would like to thank
W.M. McLean, Bumpy Buster,
Boilermaker.
Boilermaker Bumpy, Rip and Dip Trader. It's good to be the king. There's a lot of those guys out there. You know who you are that are commenting that have been your supporters. Dave Domitian. There's a lot of people out there that are supporters that we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Who am I missing? Hey, it's been a great year, guys. I'm bummed. I don't want to hang up because I know there are people out there I'm not thanking.
Did you forget about Lucky?
Lucky the dog.
Shout out to Lucky.
Guys have got to listen to me. I got to say special thanks to my wife, Christy, who literally has... I want to tell you guys a story, and I'm going to hang up, okay? We're going to close today. Many years ago when we were broke, when things went bad in 2008, 2009, my wife said to me one thing. She's only complained one time. Actually, I can think of two complaints, but this is the main one. One time she said, it'd be nice if we paid our rent on time. This is 2008, 2009, before I had some real trouble. And I have never missed a rent payment. Of course, we bought houses since then. The only time we ever missed a rent payment was when she forgot to pay it. Now, of course, we own a house. But this is a person who's been with me for 2 decades, who's never, ever complains. I told her that there'll be days where we're broke, some days when we're rich, but it'll be a fun journey. We're not even close to being done. We are not even close. If you're a shareholder of Nile and a future shareholder of Ault Alliance, or if you're a private shareholder of Ault & Company, or you want to own real estate with us, we are just getting started. Those of you who predicted my death, the death of the company, I remember you a few years ago when you said we were going to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to say anything about that.
You don't.
Yeah. Listen, we appreciate all those people who participated in the SPAC IPO. Lots of bankers at Spartan. Bill Coons really helped us a lot. John Lowry, all the people involved in the IPO of Alzamend. Lynn, who's our CFO of Alzamend, she's there. David Kassoff, you are a utility guy. This guy gets the utility man of the world. David Kassoff is a utility player, man. This guy is a key mover and shaker.
Yep.
I do want to say special thanks to Frank Alba, and I hope he knows that. Brad Lee, without you, buddy, we wouldn't have this office. Thank you so much to Brad Lee and his staff. Who am I missing out there?
I'm sure we're missing people.
Hey, Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone, I gotta say thank you to you. You've been helpful.
Hi, Cliff. Thanks to Cliff.
I thank Cliff already.
Cliff and Willie got the first
Willie
thank you.
Ames is a big, important component of this whole thing. Hey, all the editors behind the scenes with Willie Ames, Dr. Karen, who's doing that new show on Netflix or Amazon or whatever we're doing there. Who's that? Is that?
No, we didn't.
Forget Cliff. I've already said his name 3 times, Roland.
You forgot Eamon.
Eamon, I enjoyed the trip to Dubai. Eamon was with us for 7 days in Dubai, left and never came back here. I've never seen him again.
We haven't seen him.
Special thanks to the staff at Lightspeed. I already said our lawyer, Rob Valinsky, my outside litigator, Arash Sherdell. We have a big staff now.
Oh, yeah.
Special thanks to Josh Caspi, Steve Caspi, who's always been supportive.
Oh, God.
Caspi Development.
I know who you forgot.
Who else?
Phil.
Hey, Phil Mansour, the CEO of MTIX. You know the funny part about it? It's a sleeper. MTIX is doing the things we talked about. It took a lot more than we thought. It was a lot more painful, but MTIX is still out there. Special thanks to Phil Mansour, his initial leadership for Alzamend before it went public. He's been very supportive. Will Horn, my business partner, I've said that 100 times. He knows how I feel about him. Henry Nisser, our general counsel, he's on the executive committee. Thank you, Henry. James, Laura. I don't want to miss anybody. I'm going to be pissed. Hey, with the new banker we hired, John, thank you for joining the team. He's just recently got here. He helped us with the acquisition of the mayors. Hey, Congressman Aaron Schock, one of the youngest congressmen ever elected. We are now partners in that property in St. Petersburg. Josh, thank you so much to Josh Haywood. Who am I missing?
I got one more.
Who?
I got one more. I want to give a shout out and a thank you for just staying patient with us. iNet Supply, Don and Don, the Donies.
The Donies. Hey, guys, buy stuff on iNet Supply. They get great deals, by the way, and I don't get paid to say that. iNet Supply, for sure. Douglas Gens has really changed the way the websites look. I love Douglas. Who else are we missing, Randy? I don't want to miss anybody.
I think you guys covered it.
I'll be so pissed if I miss somebody.
I'm pretty
Did you say
sure
Brett and Nick?
Yep.
I said Brett and
Nick.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
The Wonder Twins.
Activate.
Activate. Hey, guys, this is Risk On. This is the 169th episode of what may be the greatest show about risk ever. And really, I think we let you down. I don't think we talk enough about risk. We got too much into BitNile. We're going to limit our conversation for some of our internal holdings next year to maybe 1 or 2 days a week. We're going to focus on some outside opportunities. We got real estate coming up. We got the spinoff of Ault Alliance if it gets approved. We have a potential uplist of Gresham if that merger gets voted on, which is great. Gresham will finally be a public company, which, as we talked about, turn on green, finally moving those EV units. Let's go, Elon Musk. Let's go, EV. Let's go, Brandon. I mean, Joe Biden. Sorry. That wasn't nice, was it?
No, it was fine.
All right. Dude. Andrea, special thanks to you, Jason's wife, for thinking of us. Andrea's a good person. I enjoy being around her. Who else are we missing here? Hey, special thanks to my kids, Enzo, Asia, Miranda, and Chase, for putting up with their dad.
Oh, my God. You almost forgot Chase. He works here.
No, I didn't forget Chase. I already said Chase.
I know. I just wanted to.
What is wrong with you guys?
I just wanted that to be on a clip. Like you.
There's a lot of shareholders. The shareholders of Nile, formerly DPW, Alt Global Holdings.
Oh, I know.
Special thanks to you guys putting up with that price, because I got to be honest with you, I'm just as frustrated as you are. There's a lot of people. It's good to be the king, and others out there very supportive.
Actually, special thanks to all of yours that stuck with you.
Yeah. You guys been here a long time. I really hope you get rewarded for it. I keep buying. I'm a little frustrated myself, but I'm going to try to stay positive about that. Oh, Echo Media. Thanks to Kim Sherman and her team at Echo Media. Who are we missing here? I already talked about the editors. I don't know if I can remember another person. Better, Nick? I spent a lot of time thanking everyone. Hopefully they'll cut these down and some thank you. Hey, special thanks to Vegas, by the way. Guys, everybody, we'll see you next year. We'll see you on January 3rd for our first and 170th episode. The first episode of 2022. We'll see you.
Oh, that's right.
We'll see you at 1:15. Jason will be here with me. Jason, when we started this, do you think we'd be at 170 episodes?
That's a lot of episodes. I mean, we were going balls to the wall, excuse my language, but yeah, now we've tapered it back 3 days a week, and we're going to keep rolling, though. I'm looking forward to next year.
2 days of Risk on Sports.
I did say Cliff. How many people want to say Cliff? Okay, I'm going to kill someone for saying that. Hey, really, honestly, love you, Christy, and my family, my mom, Anastasia. I'm sorry about my father, who is just unfortunately losing his mind to Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
But let's not leave on a negative note. Let's on a positive note. It's going to be 2022. We're in Vegas.
Year 2.
It's year 2 of Vegas. It's the first year that BitNow will be like officially BitNow for the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot going on there. I got a lot of travel scheduled this year. We have a lot of things to tell you for 2022. I will be in a lot of different places. Hopefully COVID will die down, because I will be in St. Petersburg, Georgia, Texas, California, Indiana, Detroit, Toronto, Wisconsin.
It's an all-world tour.
It's going to be a busy time. It's going to be a busy time. I've had a great time. We're stronger than ever. I'm very excited about that, Joe. Let's keep mining Bitcoin. We'll see you that update. Guys, we'll see you later. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy
Take
New
care.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let's get down to business on Monday.